am trying to slow down. I am recording this for the second time because I want to intentionally slow down and really make sure I'm getting this information across. In this video, I'm going to present to you how the mind works, the dominant structures of the two sides of the mind, and how understanding this information can deepen and hasten your healing. There are so many people talking about the mind, the body, the physiology of it all, and so where I am getting today's information is this book right here, and it is about Christian community, brain science, and overcoming spiritual stagnation. I had the idea to pull from this book and instead making it about spiritual stagnation, making it about healing stagnation, because the rules apply. If you would like to take a deeper dive into the resource, I will try to link the book below on Amazon. It's really incredible. So first and foremost, something that's really important to understand about the mind is we have a dual processor. I did not know this, except we have all been hearing since we were young that you're either left-brained or right-brained, right? Right. But wrong. None of us are just left brain or right brain. Our entire brain needs to be optimized and functioning, and each side has dominant responsibility. Your left side of the brain deals more with words, and your right side of the brain deals more with emotion. Now let's expand that. Here is a graph from the book. So you can see on the graph that the left side is called the slow track and the right side is called the fast track. That's actually really interesting information, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. So put that back, let's look at the graph again. On the left side, we see that conscious thought, speech, strategies, problem solving, logic, and stories are present, or storytelling. On the right side of the graph, we see individual identity, group identity, emotional attunement to others, assessment of your surroundings, and your relational attachment. Now, I want you to note for a moment that the things on the right side are a lot harder to describe. If you ask somebody, what's your identity? It's very difficult to describe that in words, and generally people start to describe it with things they do or positions they serve, like I am a teacher, I am a coach, I am a believer. It's more abstract. Look at this graph just one more time. Do you see the arrows in the middle of the brain? What this graph is presenting is that our thoughts go up the right side and across the frontal cortex and then back down the left side. The right side of the brain, the side that's more abstract, is working 6 times a second to process information for you. The left side is working 5 times a second. Now pause. I can imagine, because this is what I thought too, that you might be thinking, oh, okay, so it's processing the information. But do you understand what that means? I didn't. When the right side of the brain is processing at this 6 times a second rate, it is bringing together current experience and emotionally important memories to create an active sense of who we are in our relationships in the present moment. Let's break that down by looking at the graph one more time. On the right side of the mind, which is moving faster, it's bringing together your emotions and your surroundings and your relational attachments to create an active sense of who you are in your relationships in this moment. In counterpart, the left side of the brain is moving 5 times a second to explain, develop, and present to you what the right side of the brain is giving. So the right side of the brain is your pre-conscious thought. It's happening before you can even describe what's happening, and it's presenting it over to the left side, and the left side is shaping it. I'll give an example from the book. The writer talks about a time that he went to an airport, and the leader of the group that he was with had to be presented with tough information. Their flights had been canceled or something. And this leader responded with patience. And it was the first time that the writer of the book had experienced witnessing this patience, and it helped him experientially understand, not through logic, but through the experience of identity and emotional attunement to others. It helped him understand that that is a better way to respond than anger. So it helped rewrite and heal an anger response that he would have naturally experienced in himself, because by identity and relationship to others and emotions, he learned this lesson, not through logic and words, because he can sit and be told, don't respond with anger, but you need to experience others not responding with anger and the right side of your mind taking the value of that relationship and applying it and emotionally developing what's going on the inside. Oftentimes, what alerts us to our need to heal our mind, body, and soul is our character. Character formation happens in the right side of the brain, and the left side of the brain reinforces with words and story and logic what the right side of the brain is presenting to it. Because of the structure of the mind, instantaneous reaction comes from the right side of the brain, and the conscious thoughts about our reaction come from the left side of the brain. So this is how everything is working together, okay? Now let's move into part 3. Why is it important to understand this, and how does it empower us? The left side of the brain is housing what we call the common mind. This is our conscious thought, the words that come from our mind. It's happening in the left side of the brain. The left side of the brain runs at the speed of words, and the right side of the brain runs at emotions. The emotional side is moving faster than the word side. Generally, when we are trying to heal, we are using left brain strategies, but the root of what needs healing is located in the right brain, so we have to use right brain strategies. I feel like I'm yelling. This is what I'm talking about, that I get so excited and so energized that I'm kind of like, what have I even said? What have I even covered? Let me take a soothing, slow down sip. So as we move forward into this topic, let's identify what are left brain strategies: beliefs, doctrine, verbal analyzing, and get this one, willpower. These strategies neglect the strengths of the right brain, which is loving attachment, joy, emotional development, and identity. When we don't understand the right brain, we have no awareness of what we are placing our identity into. We have no idea about how much our emotions are charging us and influencing us and telling us who we are. Because if we don't have this awareness over the mind, we don't have awareness of where we are drawing our identity from. I'll give you an example from my life. I had diagnosed PTSD, and the reason I say past tense diagnosed is because the symptoms have really healed, and I'm not living in that season of my life. When I had this PTSD, it was very easy to identify with the traumas and with the emotions, and my identity was rooted in victim. This is victim mentality. When your identity is rooted in these negative emotions, places of lack of healing, and trauma, your identity is reinforced by the right side of the brain, which tells you 6 times every second that this is who you are, and therefore you respond to your environment as though you are that victim instead of this whole person. I experienced that in my own life, and I experienced this heal, and now I'm finally having the words to truly describe what happened in that healing experience through what I have learned about the neuroscience of how our brain is functioning for our character development, our character transformation. Operating under left brain strategies for healing creates the belief that we can heal, but it keeps it unattainable because you're not experiencing daily healing. You're not experiencing actual transformation and re-identification in what is good and what is wholesome and what is healthy instead of what is hurt and what is in pain. And because the experience is so slow or so stagnant, you can easily get very dissuaded and you really struggle with the mental battle of healing. When both sides are working together, it's called synchronization. It's when the harmony of both sides are flowing into one another and you actually experience character transformation and healing. And it's not something you have to force. It's not something you have to push. It's a process that you get to trust and experience. In part 2 of this topic, I will be sharing with you some of the tools for being able to start healing up the right brain. The reason I'm not sharing them now is because we need to open an entire another door about emotions and which emotions are actually ground zero for development for the human brain. It's such an incredible topic that I don't want to distract from what I just said in this video with that topic now. I want to dedicate an entire video to it. Additionally, I am laying down this foundation of information because with my channel, I am taking you to a direction where we can actually practically apply this information and start experiencing this healing. Because I believe our personal healing journeys serve the greater purpose of humanity because it reflects and ripples outward. When we heal, we are better people. We have better character, and that better character treats other people with kindness and love and dignity, and that's really important. If you want to know more about that, go watch my video on reasons we don't heal. I talk about some of these mindsets that keep us back from healing, and that one that I just mentioned really touches on that. This is the end of this video. I feel like I have been going at 110 miles an hour the entire time. I hope the information serves you and does well. I'll see you for part 2, and I'll see you for my next upload. Go ahead and hit like, subscribe, all that good stuff if you want to. My name is Kayleigh. Again, thank you for being here. Goodbye.